Good, happy Sunday morning. It is Sunday, May 23rd, 2021. And welcome to this Sunday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Sunday morning, so let's begin right now. First up, local restaurant costs increase, meal cost rise for customers. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Step back in time, high above New Hampshire's Lakes region at Castle in the Clouds. Explore the 1914 mansion. Dine with a view on the terrace at the highly acclaimed Carriage House restaurant, or enjoy a casual lunch and ice cream at the cafe in the meadow. Discover waterfalls along miles of hiking trails.
A restaurant owner we spoke with says raising prices on customers suddenly is a tough pill to swallow, but it may be the only way to stay afloat for now. Georgia's North Side serves up barbecue in Concord, and when the pandemic first hit, unlike other restaurants, business actually picked up because his food was made to go.
That caused its own set of problems because, well, you got to make more.
Increasing his bottom line for everything on the menu.
I had receipts where the cost of brisket had gone up, and if memory serves, I think it was $269 to $693. That's like a 270% increase.
Costs for off-menu items escalated too. Nakil laid it out on a Facebook post for his customers, explaining costs for cooking oil had nearly doubled, while memberships to food service clubs had gone up 300%.
I used to buy a case of 1,000 food service latex gloves for like $38, but now $120. That's a tough pill to swallow, and you don't want to be like, oh, hey, customers, I just raised the price of your food because I have a glove issue. They don't really want to hear that. And he's far from alone. The New Hampshire Lodging and Restaurant Association says supply chains for items like poultry slowed during the pandemic and has not caught up. So there's no telling when these costs could normalize. Nakil hopes his transparency will make it easier for customers to understand why he's raising his prices. I only raise prices for us on brisket-related things. Other stuff seemed to be a little bit more stable. Unfortunately, that's not the case anymore.
Mike Cherry, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. COVID-19 vaccine clinic held for people who are deaf or hard of hearing. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Now's your chance to get an amazing deal on the Honda Civic, best-selling compact car over the last decade. But hurry into your Honda dealer, because this unbelievable deal on the Civic won't last.
Mobile vaccination clinics are one of the latest tools being used by New Hampshire health officials to reach people who may have trouble in getting vaccines. An event in Manchester today was designed specifically for people who are hard of hearing.
Vaccine access in New Hampshire is expanding as the state targets specific populations for easier access. On Saturday, the Department of Health and Human Services teamed up with Elliott Health Systems to offer shots to those people who are deaf or hard of hearing.
It's been a problem with a lot of the deaf community being able to access the vaccine clinics with communication accessibility.
About a dozen people came out to get their first Pfizer shot. Officials say many in the deaf community have already been vaccinated.
But I think some that were more difficult to reach in the past, or that had some, a little fear of coming and not feeling that they'd be able to communicate, took advantage of coming to today's clinic.
American Sign Language interpreters were on hand, and people wore clear masks for easier communication.
This is really someplace that people feel comfortable from the deaf community to come and be able to receive the vaccine.
Through the efforts, we're able to provide these alternate locations for the community. So whether it's a business, an organization, a house of worship.
The state says this event is just the beginning of mobile clinics. There are plans for others across New Hampshire to give people more options for vaccines.
We already have clinics set up with various businesses in the state, Londonderry, Derry, Manchester. We're really spreading ourselves out and providing these clinics at other locations.
If you're interested in hosting a mobile vaccination clinic with the state, officials say to contact them through this email listed right there on your screen, nhmobilevax@dhhs.nh.gov, and we will also have that posted on our website and our mobile app.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Three new COVID-19 deaths Saturday in New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Home runs, homecomings, and good old-fashioned home cooking. The best things in life start with home. From finding the home of your dreams to selling a home you've outgrown, the trusted professionals at Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate are here to help. Expect better. Start by calling or contacting Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate, the Masiello Group, www.masiello.com, 800-741-1540.
The rate of new COVID-19 cases across the country dropping to levels we haven't seen in nearly a year. Good evening, I'm Monica Hernandez. The national 7-day average for new cases dropped below 30,000 this week. The last time it was that low was June 18th. And the national average for deaths over the last 7 days dropped to 498, matching numbers from last July. Health officials say vaccinations are behind the dropping numbers, but they warn not enough Americans have gotten a vaccine to completely extinguish the virus. Here in New Hampshire, there are 109 new cases tonight, and there are currently 954 cases. This is the first time since October that current cases have dropped below 1,000. And this is the 9th day in a row where new cases are below 200. We do have 3 new deaths.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. COVID-19 vaccines to be required for students, staff, and faculty at New England College. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Now's your chance to get an amazing deal on the Honda Civic, the best-selling compact car over the last decade. But hurry into your Honda dealer, because this unbelievable deal on the Civic won't last.
As workplaces across the country prepare to welcome their employees back to the office, some have announced they will be requiring COVID-19 vaccines. New England College in Henniker said today faculty and staff must be fully vaccinated by August 1st if they work on campus, with limited exceptions. Employment attorney Jim Reedy says workplaces can mandate vaccines for employees if it's job-related and consistent with business necessity, but he says there are exemptions.
If someone has a sincerely held religious belief, they can opt out. Similarly, if they have a medical condition or a recognized disability and supported by medical information.
New England College is also requiring vaccinations for students attending school on campus this fall.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Volunteers place flags at over 1,000 Milford veteran grave sites. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Every family runs out of space.
Come on, Kate. I need to get in there. I'll be out in a minute. Come on.
You're so annoying.
When you're buying or selling a home, it all starts with having the right agent by your side.
Hello?
it's Michelle from the Masiello Group. I've got some great news.
Experience quality. Masiello.com.
Well, the town of Milford is getting ready for Memorial Day. Volunteers placed hundreds of flags and markers across the town's cemeteries to pay tribute to veterans who have fallen and passed. Each flag you see here honors someone who served our country, meant to show they will never be forgotten.
It's the right thing to do.
Jay Duffy led the effort to place these flags at the gravesites of more than 1,000 veterans across 5 cemeteries in Milford. This is the town's largest.
I believe in Milford and I believe in the veterans. This defines who we are as a people.
And it brought the community together. Neighbors, volunteers, and Boy Scouts all helped. The VFW paid for the flag holders, which will last for decades.
Which means a lot to me as a vet. My father, my uncles, they were all vets. And I'm proud to see this happen, to recognize the veterans that have fallen and have passed.
Duffy says when he was a boy, he learned the importance of placing flags on veterans' graves from some of the men being honored here today.
This is the first year of doing this, and I certainly look forward to making this a tradition in Milford. Milford forever.
Well, the flags will stay up through the week after Veterans Day in September, and volunteers plan to place them again ahead of next Memorial Day.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Ceasefire holds in the Middle East as tensions remain. Let's take a listen to that video from NBC News.
Hamas's military wing, unseen throughout the conflict, hidden down in tunnels launching rockets, emerged onto the streets of Gaza today to say it's not been defeated. Gazans looked on, overwhelmingly supportive. Some very young.
Hamas is seeing a wave of popularity after this latest round of violence, presenting itself as the sole defenders of the Palestinian people, the only ones willing and able to stand up to Israel.
Israel's bombing campaign was designed to set back Hamas's military capacity. It did that. But Israel also hoped Palestinians would turn against Hamas. That didn't work. Gaza is cut off by Israel. The 2 million people here call it a prison. The isolation and hopelessness have created deep anger. In a coffee shop, I spoke to 3 young women.
What about the rockets? People in Israel say, oh, they're firing rockets on us. We have no choice but to defend ourselves.
Resistance. We're the ones who are defending ourselves.
Across the border in Israel, they see Hamas rocket fire as unprovoked terrorism against Israeli civilians. My colleague Aaron McLaughlin spoke to Daniel Hedvat. A rocket exploded by his home.
The whole house shook, and we heard a huge noise. I heard rings in my ears for about an hour after that.
Many Israelis wanted the military campaign to continue.
I'm against the ceasefire with Gaza. I think we should continue the fighting until Hamas will collapse totally.
The next round of fighting could be sparked by tensions in Jerusalem. There were more violent clashes there today as Palestinians protested against evictions from the disputed Holy City.
The ceasefire may have stopped the rockets and airstrikes, but it has also left a feeling of unfinished business and fights to come. Jose?
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Thank you for joining us for this Sunday edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday and a great rest of your day. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.